Hi, my lovely people. First off, happy Sunday, and now let's get right on into it. So, y'all seen the thumbnail, and I know y'all probably like, Storm, what is you talking about? Well, if you guys do not know, Chrissy has been making these videos about getting her ex, which is, DeMarcus, her husband, ex husband, whatever, allegedly. They still married, however you want to spin it. And I'm telling you, I've been looking at her, and it makes me want to smoke a cigarette, right? And it makes me need to smoke a whole bunch because I'm just a little bit confused. I'm confused when you go from I'm going to work on myself and then this.
I don't I don't like that shit. I ain't never had a nigga tell me that shit. Thank God. Cause the fuck? No. No nigga I've ever wanted has turned me down. So I'm not worried about that shit. That shit's for somebody who got low self-esteem. Somebody who really think that they are unattractive. Maybe like her. The fuck? I don't got time for that shit. I'm just popping my shit, y'all.
Now, in case you're wondering where that clip came from, it actually came from an Instagram live that Chrissy did. And that was just a snippet because, I didn't want to hear that. She was over there going off on DeMarcus's other baby mama and calling her names and this and that and saying that if she wants a man, whoever it is, she can get it and she ain't worried about it and she's cracking on the girl and she's doing this and she's doing that when okay, let's just call it a buck. Let's just keep it a spade. At the end of the day, this man was married to you and chose to leave you for this woman. So at the end of the day, there was something he seen in her that he did not see in you. And that is just the case. He went with this woman while you guys were married. He had children by this woman and he was living his life with this woman. And you were showing him absolutely no play, no care, and no attention. And then now that everything with Rod has fizzled and fumbled, now you are trying to get back in his life and cause chaos. Girl, you look desperate. I'm here to say it. I know it's not the popular opinion, but we done heard Chrissy get on here saying, I'm working on myself. I ain't focused on no man. I ain't this and that. Girl, the ink ain't even dry on the protective order between you and Rod. The drama has not even stopped between you and Rod. You were just on here last week saying how he so-called showed up and, oh my God, he didn't want to leave. Girl, no, you knew all about this man. See, this is where things get funky and foolery. When women start getting upset and they have nothing going on in life, then they start drobbling up in other people's life. And this is exactly what is going on, in my opinion. Chrissy's relationship with Rod has fizzled. Now she's trying to go back to DeMarcus and cause stink in his life. Not only is it going to make her feel a little better because she's going through that bitter stage in life. You know what it is this is what I truly think, y'all. I think that when DeMarcus left, Chrissy was so quick to move on with Rod that she didn't even focus on the DeMarcus situation. She was focused on the Rod situation. Now that Rod is kind of seeming to get up out the picture a little bit more and more, then guess what she's doing? She's going back to DeMarcus because she don't got no other where to go. So while you're sitting on here telling everybody how gorgeous and fabulous you are and you can get whoever you want whenever you want, just keep this in mind, Chrissy, how foolish you look. Because you're going back to a man that left you when you were pregnant, married and pregnant. He left you for another woman. Then you got on here having a nervous breakdown crying and you told us, and the video is still up, that he never worked. He never helped you with the kids. He was a cheater. He was in and out of your life and that he was a terrible husband. So if these things are correct now, if these things are correct, why would you even want to argue with anyone about him or even try to go around him or be with him? I understand that you may want him to be a father to the children. That's great. That's all it is. But you out here making videos talking about, I'm going to get my ex-husband back. Girl, you look desperate. Like you got evictions, allegedly. You have truancy. You have a whole bunch of other problems going on. You barely post. And then when you do get on here, it's a flip and a flop. You out here, you got people, and this ain't allegedly because they done made videos saying that you done schemed and scammed them. You over here talking about you got COVID. Like, girl, you don't have more problems in your life than being chasing behind a man that you claim ain't nothing, ain't never been nothing, and ain't trying to be nothing. I would leave him right where he was. I'd be like, look, I'm going to court. I pursue child support. If you want to see your children, then you more than welcome to. But other than that, What communication needs to be had? Absolutely nothing. You need to just sign these divorce papers on the dotted line. See, that's the problem. She over here talking about Olivia when y'all are in the same boat. The only thing that's different with Olivia is her divorce is final. Uh-huh. She don't have nothing to hold over Gerard's head. But girl, we out here thinking that you saying that you going to fix yourself, your living situation and everything else. But honey, we see that you are continuously in the drama and in the mess. So that makes you look like you really, really just are miserable. And you are projecting your miserableness. Let's make up a word. Your miserableness on everybody else. Your bitterness on everybody else. I'm just like really shocked with this because, girl, you couldn't come on here and talk about the things that were going on in your life when all the paperwork was going around. You stayed behind the scene and you played victim and you cried about it and you tried to say people were doxing you and people were doing this and people were doing that to you. But you have time to sit and make a video about your so-called ex-husband, your ex-man. Girl, if that girl want to get on here and pop her shit about you, she's going to. She's not a content creator, okay? DeMarcus's baby mama, woman, whatever she wants to be labeled at, she's not a content creator. So when you make a video saying that you want your ex back, when you make a video where you obviously went to Colorado and imposed on his life because you wanted him to see his children, and then you try and turn it and flip it and dip it into something else like y'all have a relationship, then you come back to Texas. And when you come back to Texas, you back with Rod. Y'all having domestic disputes. Y'all are arguing. Police are in and out the house. I mean, be darned and be damned. Which way do you want it? Which way do you want it? Because if I was DeMarcus, which we know he's not a stand-up guy because we've seen it and we know how he is. But if I was him, I'd be questioning you about the men that you have around my children. See, that's the thing. See, nobody says the truth about Chrissy. You over here questioning him and his baby mama and what they got going on in their life and their relationship, but we ain't seeing police reports. We not seeing domestic violence. We not seeing none of this stuff. We not seeing kids not going to school. So he should be questioning you about who you got around his kids and not vice versa. You over there telling him that this woman got crooked teeth and this woman look this way and this woman do that, but they've been living happily. We ain't hearing about them and their kids over there on that side of the fence. So I'm just trying to make it make sense because right now, this ain't making sense. This ain't making sense. Just because you and Rod fell apart, you have no reason to go and get in that man's life. Now, there's always, three sides to the story. The truth, somebody else's truth, and then the real truth, right? So maybe he texts her behind the scenes. Maybe he's trying to get with her. Maybe. We can go maybe all day long. All I'm saying is when it comes to Rod, when it comes to DeMarcus, when it comes to dating, we heard you say that you're going to take everything slow. You're going to work on yourself. You don't want a man in your life. You said you need to focus on getting yourself together, getting your self-esteem together, and working on making sure your children have a roof over their head and a stable life. That's what you said. So now that you on here wanting to argue with other women about men that still ain't worth a darn, girl, I'm going to call it out. I know a lot of them ain't, but I'm going to call it out. Now, I don't know if y'all been keeping up with it, but if you have, please let me know in the comments below so that we can continue to talk about it, boo-boos, because that's my opinion.